Having the phase settings properly configured on any given model element is important to getting the project deliverables to display correctly. But even more important is the settings of the view that you use to display and edit those elements. Like model elements, the views themselves have built-in phasing parameters. With these settings, we can establish the point in time at which we wish to work on our project. So here in Revit, I'm in a file called Phasing Views, and we've got two buildings on the left and the right that are in different phases. So just to reiterate where we left off, the objects on this side are created in the existing phase, and the objects over on this side are created in phase 1 new. Now we also have a phase 2 new construction, and that's going to be for a connector between these two portions here. We've demolished out this existing addition here, and we're going to build a connecting building between the two. So when I go to my wall command and I draw a wall right here, what you'll notice is that new wall comes in, but it's still phase 1 new construction. Now I can, of course, select it and change it to phase 2 new construction, and it will disappear. Well, the reason it disappears is because everything we're doing in the model right now is being seen through the prism of the floor plan called Level 1. So over here on the Properties palette, notice that we're in the Floor Plans properties. That's because I have nothing selected. If I scroll down, this floor plan is set to the phase 1 new construction. Now, if I change that to phase 2 new, notice that two things happen. The existing addition disappears because it's already been demolished. It was demolished in the previous phase, so it doesn't continue to show as demolished anymore. And that wall that just disappeared on us reappears, and it shows in bold because in phase 2 new construction, it is now new. It's being created at this point in time. You see how all this stuff that was created here in phase 1 new construction actually grays out because at this point in time, it's now existing. So what's really critical to understand here is that what it means to be existing or new or demolished actually changes based on what the active phase is. These are not static conditions. These are flexible conditions that move around with you as you move forward and backward in time. Another really nice thing about switching the phase here that I've just done is if I draw a new wall here, notice that that wall automatically takes on the properties of the view. So the best way to ensure that the objects you're creating are assigned to the correct phase is to draw them in a phase that's already assigned to the phase that they need to be. And this saves you the step of having to go in and change all those objects later. So naturally, what this means is that it might be more efficient for us to actually have more than one floor plan view. Rather than taking my level 1 floor plan view and constantly changing its active phase, wouldn't it be more efficient to actually have a phase 1 new construction view and a phase 2 new construction view and so on? And we can do that easily enough by just right-clicking on level 1, going to duplicate, and in this case, I could choose either duplicate or duplicate with detailing because I don't have any detailing in this view, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to choose duplicate. But if you had text or dimensions or other things, you might want to choose detailing. And I'm going to do that a second time. And then I'm going to rename each of these. Now you can right-click and choose rename. Then I'm going to actually select this, do Control-C. Or if you select the view and press the F2 key on your keyboard, that's a shortcut instead of having to right-click. Now I'm going to do Control-V to paste in the previous name, and then I'll just click right here and change that part right there. And then I'm going to take the original view and rename it as well, or I could do the F2 again. And I'm going to change this whole portion here to existing. Now, since this was the original level 1 floor plan, it directly corresponds to the level in my project, and Revit's asking me if I also want to name the level. In this case, I actually don't want to rename the level, so I'm going to say no here so that my level remains named level 1, but the floor plan is called level 1 existing. So now you can see I have 3 different floor plans here, and what I want to do is on the Properties palette, scroll down, and change the active phase for each of those floor plans. So that's level 1. I'm going to select level 1 new here and change that to phase 1 new, and level 2 new should already be phase 2 new. Now, notice that on screen something changed already because in bold here, level 1 phase 1 new was the active view. So it's showing us now correctly that point in time. We've got our existing building here, our demolition here, and our new construction here. Let's go back to level 1 existing. Double-click it here. Notice that the addition over on the right disappears because it hasn't happened yet. And the rest of the building becomes bold because at this point in time, it is the new construction. And then, of course, if I go to phase 2 new, everything grays out and just the two walls connecting the two buildings become bold because now that's the new construction here. So the properties that we assign to the views are critically important for a variety of reasons. They help us get our objects that we're drawing correctly phased. And if you create some duplicate views like we've done here and assign them to the correct phase, it makes it really easy for you to jump forward and backward in time to not only view what's happening in your project, but make proper modifications.